Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Evan back from mymoneymarathon.com. I wanted to go over choosing a niche in content creation. Of course, in my case, we're specifically focusing on blogging, but this would really apply to any sort of content creation online. So you may be wondering to yourself, why is a niche even that important? I have a lot of different interests. I want to focus on a lot of different things in my content. And that is a possible way to go, but the issue with that is that if your content is scattered, then your viewer, reader, consumer base is going to be scattered. And that's going to make it much more difficult to have long-term success because it's going to be difficult to build a brand. People need to recognize your brand as being linked to a niche that they're interested in instead of your brand being linked to a dozen different niches, some of which they're not interested in whatsoever. So this video is going to be detailing how I decided my own blogging niche, and my hope is that me going through my process of that decision making is going to help others with their own personal processes of content creation. So as you probably know by now, I started blogging 2 or 3 months ago. Initially, what you may not know is that it was called Finance and Fitness. That was the name of the blog, name of the website. And the initial goal was to follow my personal journey on bettering myself on both fronts, both finance and fitness, and helping others along that same sort of journey. The website was built on Wix. It looked horrible and it was not a good time. So I actually only got 2 blog posts in on this initial website before, through talking with my friends and my girlfriend and just thinking about it by myself, that it would be difficult to build a reader base when I'm focusing on these two diverging topics at once of both personal finance and personal fitness. So I narrowed the niche down to personal finance because I felt that this would have more long-term staying power and long-term content creation capabilities, and renamed the website to my100kmarathon.com, where the 100K was meant to represent $100,000. The name of the website was eventually renamed over to mymoneymarathon.com, where it is now, to try and make the purpose of the website a little more obvious, but the niche remained exactly the same. So why did I choose personal finance? Well, prior to college, I didn't have any of my own income or wealth to manage. And then after graduating college and getting a solid job with solid income, I really dove down the path of optimizing my finances, optimizing my investments and my wealth growth potential, with the end goal that I still have of retiring early and becoming financially free. This personal interest I have in the topic makes it far easier for me to learn about and far more enjoyable for me to write about. This enjoyment that I have in the niche, I think, is the most important thing to focus on when choosing a niche for yourself for your own content creation. A second reason that I chose personal finance as my niche is that teaching personal finance helps people. And I don't only mean that in an altruistic way and me wanting to help people, but also if people are going to come to my website and read my content, it needs to be useful to them. And the more useful you can make the content for people, the more people are going to be interested and willing to come and spend time on your website or your content. A big push on personal finance, specifically focusing on investing, was that I perceive a huge lack of education for investing and personal finance as a whole. With investing, a lot of people think that stock market investing is out of their reach, too complicated, too risky, that it's for people who are already wealthy to begin with. And this just flat out isn't true. And so I see a huge opportunity to educate people on their investment opportunities. The goal of the blog is to bring all of these people who have never invested in their entire lives into the investing world and see success and grow their wealth in ways that they never thought possible. Another reason I chose personal finance is that it is a topic with a lot to learn about. There is essentially an infinite amount of stuff to learn regarding personal finance and investing, and therefore essentially an infinite amount of content to create on it and an infinite amount of information to share with people and teach people about. This means I'm going to be able to create content for years and years to come. So when you're looking into a niche for content creation, make sure it's a niche that has a boundless amount of information for you to learn about and share with other people. My fourth reason for choosing personal finance is that bettering one's personal finance is a lifelong, year-round journey. Make sure not to choose a niche that peaks at certain times of the year or at very specific age intervals, because this is really going to limit your consumer base and therefore limit your earning potential. My fifth and final reason for choosing personal finance was, as I mentioned before, when I graduated college and started making my own income, I really got obsessed with optimizing my own finances. So I dove into learning a lot of information about the topic, reading a lot of books, listening to a lot of podcasts, reading a lot of posts on it. I absorbed a massive amount of information on it up front, and this gave me an edge over other people who didn't have that same information. Now, I don't mean that as a brag whatsoever. Anybody could learn the same information if they just decided to devote the same amount of time to it as I did. but this upfront time devotion that I've already completed gives me an edge over other people who haven't done the same thing. So when trying to choose a blogging niche, make sure to choose something that you have some sort of edge in. It could be an inherent edge, or it could be an edge that you've built up over time by gathering knowledge that other people don't have. So this is how I landed on personal finance as my personal blogging niche. Let me know in the comments below what niche you've chosen or what niches you're thinking about, or if you have any questions along the way of choosing a niche, please let me know down below or contact me on my website. So if you want to see how I've been integrating this niche into content creation, go ahead and check out mymoneymarathon.com. And other than that, see you next time.